So debit cards or credit cards? Well, today I'll be breaking down why you should completely avoid using debit cards and how just by doing that, I've kept thousands of dollars of free money without making any other changes to my lifestyle. So stay tuned. Now, first, let's jump into what the actual differences are with credit cards and debit cards. And then I'm gonna show you some examples of how I've been able to leverage my credit card to be able to, pretty much get free $1,000 trips all around the world. Alrighty. So right off the bat, first, what's the difference between credit cards and debit cards? Now, each kind of functions a little different, right? Debit cards is literally your money, right? It's pulled straight from your bank account, right? So if you use a debit card at a grocery store and you spend $10 is immediately debited out of your bank account and then given to whatever grocery store you were at. Credit cards, on the other hand, is really the bank's money. That's going to be required for you to pay back to the bank, typically at the end of the month or that following month. Now, in my case, I've actually shifted all my spending onto credit cards. Okay, so why did I actually choose credit cards? One of the top reasons was the protections that you can actually get from credit cards. Okay, now back in the day, this is probably, I want to say it has to have been probably maybe 5 years now. I had an experience where I actually ended up getting my debit card skimmed at a random gas station. I was on my way back. I was at the city right next to mine visiting a friend, and on the way back, I had to stop for gas at some literally random gas station. I'm talking about one of those sketchy looking gas stations where you're just trying to get in and get out, right? And I ended up just paying for gas and my card ended up getting skimmed. And luckily the bank caught it just in time because it could have potentially been really bad. For me, it was a really scary feeling because this is around the time I had just gotten out of college, right? And I was pretty much living paycheck to paycheck at the time. And if they had gotten to my money, I would have been in serious trouble paying my bills for that month, right? So that's what really made me start looking into how I could be able to add another layer of protection to my money. And I decided, hey, I need to start using credit cards and just paying off the credit card every month using my bank account. That way I had at least a layer of separation where if something were ever to come up, I could at least make the payments on the credit card instead of paying it off in full and still be able to pay all my other major bills that I had. Nowadays, you're gonna see that available with most debit cards, but back in the day, it was really something that, it was gonna be a battle between you and your bank trying to get your money back, right? And so that's at least one thing that's improved with debit cards. But on top of that, there was extended warranty protection, right? Some credit cards even give you an extra, for example, 90 days of warranty if you purchase using a card. So let's say your card comes with a 6-month warranty, they're gonna extend it an extra 3 months past that. So to me, that's just a no-brainer. Another thing is purchase protection, right? If you damage or lose a product that you bought using your credit card, you may be able to get reimbursed for that item. Benefits that I found extremely valuable were the trip insurance and rental car insurance. For example, I was able to even get reimbursed for a non-refundable train ticket earlier in the year just because I couldn't make the trip. Another example is, as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm currently in Guatemala City. I was actually able to use the rental car insurance when I rented a car to go to the lake about 2 weeks ago. So for me, this is a huge one for me, right? I'm just naming off a few of the actual more popular benefits that you can get from using credit cards. And guys, keep in mind, I'm literally using that credit card pretty much like a debit card. I use the credit card and then I'm always trying to pay it off as soon as I get that statement. Now I'm going to be breaking down how I actually fly internationally for free. But first, I need to explain a concept that exists that not a lot of people are taking advantage of. And this is something called travel hacking, right? And this is just a series of different methods used to earn points, often without even flying or staying at hotels, and to redeem those points for travel. Okay. Now I'm typically leveraging credit cards just to earn rewards points for specifically travel. And that's what's allowed me to be able to fly pretty much for free around the world. 2 quick examples of me actually being able to fly first class for cheap. The first one's gonna be Togo in West Africa. Now I was able to fly from Belgium all the way to Togo. I think it came out to, let's say, like a 6-hour flight, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And I was able to fly a business class flight for only $36 out of my pocket. Now, the way I did that is I actually leveraged Chase's travel partner, United Airlines, to be able to book a Brussels Airlines business class flight from Brussels to Lomé. Now, this was really super dope. I was able to enjoy a dope time over in their lounge. Apparently this is one of the best business lounges in Europe, where you can get free food, you get free drinks. And this was all while I was at the airport waiting for my flight to head down to Africa. Now, guys, I was one of those people who I couldn't care for lounges, especially when I was younger in my college days. If I was in the airport, I didn't care. I was like, there was no way I was gonna pay even the entrance fee. Some of these places that let you enter for $20, $50, to me it was a complete no-brainer that I would never actually pay for those places, because why would I pay just for another seat in the airport? That was until I actually got into these lounges and realized how nice they are, right? You're gonna get, it's typically more spacious, better seating, and you're typically gonna get free food and drinks. So while I didn't want to pay to actually get into these lounges, I would go around the airport, finding a place to eat, and end up paying, those super sky high prices for basic meals that I could get outside the airport, right? So I might go to Burger King or something and pay $20 or $15 for a meal, when I probably could have paid $20 to get into a lounge where they would have had free food and free drinks, alcoholic drinks as well. That's kind of what started it in me to start looking more into not just business travel, but the fact that business travel also, or business class flights also, allow you to get into business lounges. Now, another example is currently where I'm at, Guatemala. To get down here, I actually flew from Dallas to Central America. Guatemala is located right below Mexico in Central America. I got a business class flight for only $5.60. And the points, of course, right? The credit card points that I used. It was really dope. It was my first time staying in the American Airlines, the DFW lounge for American Airlines. And also got to fly in the plane first class all the way down here as well. Now, be sure you hit the subscribe button if that type of stuff interests you, because I plan on shooting even more videos that are gonna show y'all a little more of this lifestyle that I'm starting to do. Now, there's a few things that you need to make sure that you do for this to make sense. First, you need to make sure that you're not carrying a balance on your credit cards, right? Now, I'll be the first one to tell you it's not easy, right? Especially when I got out of college, my cards were pretty much maxed out across the board, right? But this is something that you want to make sure that you're being careful with, because if you are carrying a balance, then the credit card companies win at that point, right? They're able to charge you interest, and now you're paying month to month and losing all the benefits that you were getting because of these credit cards. So you want to make sure that whatever you're using on your credit cards, it's not to, inflate your lifestyle. It's more of you just paying for regular stuff that you would always pay, right? So for example, I'm using my cards and I'm paying for groceries, right? Now I got the American Express Gold Card, which I'll actually link to so you can see. I got the American Express Gold Card. I shot a whole video on it that I'll link to. And now I'm making all my purchases for groceries on that American Express card. That way I'm able to get the points and I can use that for travel. And now that actually rolls into my next point, which is maximizing your points, guys. That's one of the reasons why I use the Amex Gold Card. It actually gives me 4x points for each dollar that I spend at a grocery store. And for me, that makes it to where I'm able to gain a lot more points. Actually, go check out the Amex Gold Card video that I shot, where I give you an actual breakdown of how I plan on making money with that card, right? And that's one of the techniques that I'm using to be able to make sure that, hey, I want to make sure that I'm living the type of lifestyle that I want to live, right? Without having to pay the money that it would take to live that lifestyle. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to fly comfortably, right? If I can get a business class flight and all I'm doing is still living the same lifestyle that I was living, is just I'm paying for my same lifestyle using credit cards and then paying off those credit cards, right? I'm just adding another step. Why not do that so that I can fly first class? I can fly overseas or international flights first class, right? And no additional cost, or even cheaper, as you guys saw in the examples, cheaper than what I would pay for an economy flight. Now, if you're interested in learning more, make sure that you check out this video that I shot here on how I actually go about traveling for cheap using credit cards. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.